Congratulations.
You know this.
I have work to do. I'm done. I fixed you.
Where are you going? I'm ready, bro. I'm really gonna do this shit. Y'all don't understand, bro. I'm really gonna do this shit, bro. Like, I think it's time, bro. It's time. I needed this. I needed to come here for a reason. I was thinking to myself, I was like, why am I in a hotel room all day, every day? What am I doing in this hotel room? I'm calling my friends all day. I'm sitting around not really doing shit in Dubai. Life is about making it the best version of yourself. But guys, listen, I'm not gonna sit around and mope. I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna do things, but off and behind the scenes, and I'm gonna have like a little page or something, like little vlogs updating you guys on my journey. I'm gonna take pictures before and after. I'm really like not playing around this time. I'm 22. You know what I mean? And it took me a while to understand that, and you know it did. And I just want to say, bro, I think I'm ready, bro. I do. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, I want to let you guys know that, you know, I love you guys. You guys are my family, and I gotta prove to you guys that that this is it. This is what I gotta do. What do y'all want to watch, bro? I don't support porn. Like I don't support this shit. The fuck do y'all want to watch on here, bro? I don't support this shit. Have you ever seen Two Girls, One Cup?
Ew, her nip. Ew, bro. I'm not looking at.
No, come here.
He donated $1. Trans lives don't matter, burn M.
You got me looking at like 5 different dicks, bro. I don't want to look at this shit.
Chat, welcome to another stream. All right, today we are going to be talking about, what are you talking about? We're going to be talking Sneako. All right, Sneako, Aiden Ross, and the whole red pill movement and how it is completely ran away from us. Okay, so guys, as you are walking into the stream, please do us a huge solid and hit the like button because we are about to break down some shit. Okay, guys, we are gonna break down one of the most pressing hypotheses that has been going on around the red pill, okay? And this pressing hypothesis is that the red pill, all right, particularly the Andrew Tate version of the red pill, it's actively corrupting the minds of a lot of these young men, okay? But not just the minds of these young men. It's also destroying the minds of these influencers that are also promoting said red pill. Guys, think about this. Look at the pattern, folks. Everyone who has ran down that red pill rabbit hole has had their YouTube career stripped from them. All right, they've been chased off the internet into these alternative dark holes where they get to, fester underneath. Okay, they lose access to money, revenue, and almost always they almost find a way to blame Jews and other conspiracies that are going on out there. Now, listen, guys, I'm not saying that conspiracies aren't real and there aren't a thing, but listen, I'm just saying, maybe these red pill guys, we ought to be paid a little bit more close attention to what's going on and what they're talking about and how they're radicalizing a lot of these guys, okay? Because if you start to see a lot of these red pill content creators also slowly losing their minds over time due to the message they preach, obviously there's something there. And it's even more dangerous, arguably, that they are sending this same message out into the world, okay? So guys, we're gonna break all of that down and more. So before we get started, let me go ahead and make sure my sound is turned the way down. Matter of fact, let's just turn it off. Okay, there we go. All right. So I found a great video today that perfectly explained this. And guys, it's not just Sneako, Andrew Tate, and Aiden Ross losing their careers because they travel too far down the red pill, okay? And if you notice, a lot of these guys are mainstream, right-leaning almost, just kind of going into that kind of sphere of things, okay? It's not just men. There are a lot of these women that are also involved with this too as well, spreading that propaganda and pushing that red pill nonsense forward, all right? And one of the most notorious one is Pearl, and we're gonna get on her case Friday, okay? So guys, y'all definitely want to subscribe to that because realistically, she's losing her mind too. I mean, if you listen to the nonsense that she's been saying, it almost seems like the ideas are not even her own. Matter of fact, I'm sitting here trying to figure out if she even has an idea what she's talking about when she talks about male and female relationship dynamics. It just doesn't make any sense. And one more thing we got to talk about, all right? I know we got to talk about this polarizing figure because this individual, he's the only one who's been going throughout this red pill space and actually having these conversations, okay? Now listen, I understand a lot of people don't agree with his methods and how he goes about getting some of these guys to just see the errors of their thought process and the logical traps it could lead to. All right, I know he's not everyone's favorite, but god damn it, Destiny is one of the only other ones we have out there, okay, that is willing to at least open up the conversation for us to realize that a lot of these guys, these manosphere leaders that we held in high regard, they're nothing but idiots. Like, they actually don't know what it is they're saying. So guys, listen, I know y'all don't like Destiny, all right? And there's certain things I disagree with them on, all right? Listen, you cannot deny he's one of the only other guys out there that is having this conversation. I would love to have a conversation with a lot of these guys. Believe you me, I would love to sit in a room across from Sneako and ask where a lot of his ideas come from. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to work. And Destiny is the only other one where he has enough clout where these guys are going to thirst after. It's going to be enticing enough, all right? And on top of that, he's quick enough to really just hit these guys where it really matters, all right? And there was another one I was watching. Who's this other female chick? The one that got viral because she kept claiming that Kevin Samuels got her Kevin Samuels didn't get her pregnant. Kevin Samuels got her married and then she got pregnant, right? She got famous all of a sudden. And Destiny just recently debated her, but kind of exposed her nonsense. I think her name was Allie or something like that. Rollo Tomasi promoted her because she was the one success story that Kevin Samuels had, apparently, which I don't agree, but she was paraded as such, that got her successful with a high value man 20 plus years older than her, and now she has a kid, okay? She went on and debated Destiny and got her ass exposed as a person who probably is a man, realistically. And honestly, I say that with clear intent because you see the way these women argue on or against their own best interest, right? It just doesn't make any sense. You look at Pearl and the argument she makes when it comes to divorce. Oh, women just divorce for fun. Right? You got that nonsense. sense? And you got Ali over here talking about, yeah, no matter what, all right, it's women's fault, okay? If they got stuck with a baby that they don't want or they can't afford to take care of, it's too bad, all right? Because aborting that baby is bad. Like it's all a fucking mess, okay? And then when you push these guys down to their actual core, okay, it turns out they actually don't know what it is they're talking about. And the real world, it doesn't function as black and white like they used to, okay? Listen. It's almost better if you guys realistically go out and experience the world. Because once you do, you'll realize there's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of complexities. There's a lot of different things that move certain situations around. Things aren't as black and white as in, oh, well, this person did that, therefore he's that. This person is associated with that, therefore they're that. It goes deeper than that. And for a lot of y'all, the main conspiracy is literally money. That's one of the main things, okay? Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the main crux of the story, all right? Listen. I found this great video. It's almost like a video essay that was done. And this video essay basically centered around the downfall of Aiden Ross, okay? And this downfall was incredibly unique because if you guys don't know, Aiden Ross was one of YouTube's top streamers, but also his main platform and bread and butter was Twitch, okay? That was his main squeeze. And what ended up happening is, for some reason, after he met Andrew Tate, everything went downhill from there. All right. And this documentary basically explains all of it. All right. And guys, we are going to react to it and we're going to have a ball. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear the audio too, by the way. All right. Let's share that screen.
Meet Aiden Ross.
Yo, nah, clip it, send it to me right now.
A relatively unknown content creator who skyrocketed to stardom on YouTube and Twitch, attracting millions of followers and amassing a fortune in the process. Never short on controversy, but always innovating content, Aiden always had a clear mass market appeal to a specifically younger audience. However, the latest controversy threatens all of that, from a star continuing to rise to what can only be described as a major meltdown, threatening journalists, being banned from Twitch, streaming to his mostly underage audience, platforming literal Nazi propaganda, and all of this just months after meeting with the man he now calls his hero,
after meeting Tate,
Andrew Tate. The transformation from Aiden Ross to a Tate clone is happening before our very eyes.
I wanted to find myself because I'm lost, and I wanted to find myself, and I feel like I wanted to find myself.
I offer you my services,
Stop
and as
fucking
usual,
yelling at me, dude.
you're
Seriously.
rude. Fly to Dubai. Fly to Dubai now. We'll talk.
I'm sorry, Andrew. You can't get mad at me, bro. It's hot. It's ridiculously hot, man. You have the AC at like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, bro. It's ridiculous.
Going back to the start, Aiden was a content creator in the making all the way back in high school. The man was dedicated to the life. He would stream NBA 2K games, often playing for cash, skipped prom even to stream, and eventually evolved his content to involving other streamers and celebrities. One of his major blow-ups was talking to LeBron James on his stream. At its very core though, Aiden's content could be described as hanging with the boys. He was doing things that a lot of young people would love to do, hanging out with rappers, famous people, and just having a good time. As soon as he got picked up with the algorithms and the eyeballs, there was no stopping the rise. It didn't take long before he was one of the biggest streamers on the planet. His stream went from 2019 averaging 1 to 200 viewers to 2021 with 10 to 20,000, and by mid-2021 he was hitting stream peaks of 250,000 concurrent live viewers with averages of 100,000 or more. This continued for the next 2 years, making him not only one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, but one of the most live broadcasts available on the entire internet.
Oh, shit! Do you want me to rub your nut sack? I think we should be fat. Can't say that word. They asked you a question. Stop! Snaggimo, stop! Stop! Snaggimo, don't do it.
Mom was a bitch.
Aiden's content style, and of course his age, were always a factor in both his success and the roadblocks he faced along the way. Due to the nature of his content, he was sometimes banned on Twitch for things that were somewhat out of his own control. This is a knock against Twitch's rules and how they uphold their terms of service.
Oh yeah, he got swatted a couple times
which
too,
which they have been criticized heavily for in recent years. But given that he knew this was the system he was operating within, did very little to prevent it from happening further, this resulted in 7 total bans across his 3 years on the website. But Aiden was young, saying or doing some silly things sometimes is entirely forgivable, and he was able to continue his ascendant career after each temporary ban. Towards the end, things even settled down and it looked like Aiden might grow into the fame, becoming less controversial, and maybe even a good role model for his millions of young fans. Things, however, were gonna get real weird.
And I'm one of the greatest men on the face of the planet. So I know it works. I'm the product of it. Yeah, I've conquered the internet.
Yo, whenever Andrew Tate just like, listen, hey, say what you want, dude. This guy is a fucking character, man. Like, realistically, just the way he talks about himself, like he actually thinks he is God amongst men, which I find hilarious.
The internet is mine, all of it. I took it all.
In late 2022, the entire of the internet was captivated by the overnight success of a single human being, Andrew Tate.
Bought my neighbor's house. I had to construct a specific area for the Bugatti. Anyway.
Tate, you can make an argument, is one of, if not the most controversial figures to appear on the internet ever. Full stop. He went from being barely known to the most searched man on the planet, and his influence was unavoidable. It didn't matter where you were, what social media or news website you were interacting with, Andrew Tate was front and center. His name was on everyone's lips and fingertips. Everyone
Bro, a lot of people don't talk about this, but the Fresh and Fit podcast was, y'all gotta credit them because they really helped get Tate's name out there. Because if it wasn't, listen, bro, when Andrew Tate started appearing, he appeared like a couple times, and then I noticed he kept coming on the show. And it just didn't make any sense until you realize that Andrew Tate runs an OnlyFans pimping or online pimping business, right? Pimping girls on webcamming, right? He runs that online. Well, who are the ideal demographic for his buyers, right? Who are the ideal demographic for his customers? Well, the people at Fresh and Fit, the people who watch Fresh and Fit, the guys who are fans of Fresh and Fit. Why? It's because of the messaging that Fresh and Fit has been putting forward, all right? They have a platform where they talk about good girls, angels, right? While they put on display mostly all women who work or do sex work and OnlyFans, right? So they're displaying women on demon time. Like they're telling you the women that you should be with, right? The virgins and virtuous ones, while presenting demons in front of you, right? So these men see this shit and they get all wrapped up in a frenzy because they don't know where to redirect that hate, right? And then here comes a guy like Tate. He says all the reckless shit that you can ever imagine, like depression ain't real and, you know, calling bitches all sorts of shit, right? And on top of that, he has a funnel. That's what made him and the Fresh and Fit combo so fucking powerful. I would arguably say Fresh and Fit was Tate's platform's jump off to like unseen levels of fame.
You spoke with had an opinion on him, and these opinions were almost always one of two extremes. There was a lot of ridicule, disgust, and even hate, which rivaled the praise, admiration, and love on the other end of the spectrum. Andrew Tate, to some, spoke of harmful ideology.
As if a single person or even a group of people could ruin a generation of anything. I thought, until I found out who Andrew Tate was, and that's what we're here to talk about today.
To others, a way of life that they coveted.
Andrew's your top G. Bro, look at you cigars. Who did you get that from? I gotta pull up you on Fresh and Fit. This nigga was sitting just like Andrew Tate was when he was on Fresh and Fit. Had his Cartier sunglasses on, had his hands like this. Whenever the girls would talk, he would not look at them.
To some, he was
You can't forget the ultimate clone, which was Sneako. Remember, Sneako, we already covered his partial transformation. Y'all remember when we played that tape of him making fun of Andrew Tate, by the way. Oh, he looks like a GTA character, right? He went from making fun of Andrew Tate and his appearance and everything to wanting to be Andrew Tate in a span of months. That's how long it took. It's all it took. Just one meeting in Dubai, and it changed these dudes' lives forever. And I would argue for the worse.
was spreading a hateful message that the world didn't need to hear, and to others he was speaking truth that society had told them they were unable to speak. With such a polarizing figure rising to prominence, there were clear lines being drawn in the sand, and this was going to change discourse on the internet, potentially forever. This division amongst people was based on an ideology which can be boiled down and simplified to the blue pill versus the red pill, a commonly used metaphor that evolved from popular Hollywood hit The Matrix. You take the blue pill, you stay connected to the Matrix, believing whatever the system tells you. You take the red pill, you go down the rabbit hole and face the uncomfortable truth of the system.
And this right here is the base foundation for the largest grift that would ever happen in the entire manosphere. This shit right here, my dudes, okay? Thanks to this little fucking metaphor right here, this shit right here has literally quite possibly ruined a generation of men. I hope you understand this, bro. They are bastardizing a lot of these terms out here. Oh, and by the way, if you guys realize that a lot of these conspiracies, you notice how the manosphere red pill is starting to merge with the mainstream political aspect of it. And Andrew Tate was the real glue to really attach that bigger mainstream cloud to the red pill manosphere. Why do you think we're getting so much traffic as we're getting right now? Is because of the foundation that Andrew Tate pretty much put down. So, but I want y'all to take a look at these blue pill and red pill metaphor, right? What else do you know once you start getting to that upper echelon of, conservative and liberal type of red pill, blue pill? Democrats and Republicans. You see that, right? I really think that I'm not a conspiracy guy, okay? But the more I'm looking into this shit, I'm starting to realize that either the manosphere is some kind of psyops or some kind of like CIA plot to get a lot of these dudes so riled up to start either voting red, or if you want to look on the other side with some of these other far left platforms that a lot of these guys on the right like to rail against, they have their own version that's rising up and they're voting one way. You understand? Like, maybe I'm reading too much into this. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But I feel like there is something big at play right now, because it doesn't make sense how we as a country are so polarized. We can't even have conversations. Everybody thinks that it's this simple, it comes down to this simple duality of good versus evil, right? It just doesn't make any sense unless there's the underground foundational push to actually separate people into two political camps, because that's where a lot of this red pill stuff ends up, right? You either end up like Candace Owens, okay, and some of this other guys over there, rah, ban this, do that, or you end up like Nancy Pelosi and that camp over there, whatever you want to call it, or AOC would be the better bet. So I'm just saying, bro, like, the more I look at this stuff, the red pill, blue pill, the more I'm starting to like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy.
That is how the movie presents the concept and how it was later co-opted. Starting out originally as a political metaphor, usually heavy on conspiracy theories, and later evolved in use.
This
in
has
modern
to be a
day,
CIA plot.
Red pill is often used within the area of the internet referred to as the manosphere. Tate and people like him operate within that sphere, using red pill to describe their philosophy on life.
Bro, what if Tate was what if Tate's an agent, bro? Think about this. Think about it. Y'all remember who was that guy that had that sex island, right? Epstein. I'm not comparing Tate to Epstein, okay? I'm not saying that. But there's some similarities here. I mean, not 100%, but there is some similarities here. Okay, listen, maybe I'm overthinking this, okay? Like, again, what if this guy's an agent, bro? Like, what if Andrew Tate was the plot to pretty much get us to where we are right now? And I'm just speculating, guys. It's a chill stream, but come on, man. All of this shit doesn't make any sense, okay? A lot of his trajectory is reminding me of Epstein right now, and it's not even a joke.
The truth of their existence, so to speak. Depending on who within this movement you speak to, the parameters of what constitutes this truth will differ, but at the center of all of it, the belief is that women have changed to the point they are a problem. Dating is bad for men who are even oppressed by these changes. Of course, the original conspiracy theory aspect remains entrenched in the movement to go along with it, and the red pill widely spreads harmful messaging around things like vaccination and most established systems. By established systems, what I mean is the Matrix, because that analogy continues to run deep within this space.
The Matrix is trying to control your mind. They're very good at it. That's what they do to control all of us. You have to break the trap.
Do you want to escape from the Matrix?
Listen, I already did.
You haven't. You're very firmly inside because your soul is still controlled and you're still hedonistic.
This movement, the red pill, is often described as misogynistic, hateful, harmful, and many other negative descriptors.
Ah, you cheater, you cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. What's up, bitch?
While there are nuggets of truth sprinkled into some of the messaging, and a few good pieces of advice such as working out, trying to better your life with promotions, education, and moving up the ladder in all aspects, you don't need to take on the other problematic aspects of the movement to go along with that simple, common knowledge advice. Whatever pros can be gleaned from the movement are usually outweighed.
Wait, Red Bull vodka, is that true? Is his dad I thought his dad was like a chess master or something. Where did you find Tate's dad was not a CIA member? Are you serious? I thought he said that his dad was a chess master or whatever the fuck it was. If that's true, listen, bro. All right, I don't want to go too far into this rabbit hole. I'm already thinking Tate is sus enough as it is, but like, I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm not sure if that's true. Shane says he was. What? I gotta look into that, man. What?
Weighed heavily by the negatives. Though, of course, it does stand to reason that there are some more reasonable people within the space who see it as a place for men to better themselves, but they are drowned out by the more popular narratives which come with the harmful rhetoric. The issue is, due to most of the current social structure, the internet, how easy it is to fall into an echo chamber, the depression and suicide rates of particularly young men, and the many other social issues, the Red Pill movement, and in particular what is seen as their golden god, Andrew Tate, has taken hold on the minds of tens, if not hundreds of millions of men. This is truer for younger men who don't have the experienced worldview to question certain harmful aspects and are more likely to be influenced, as well as some older men who have lived a life that has disappointed them. They're looking for something or anything except for themselves to blame for their complete mediocrity. So what does any of this have to do with Aiden Ross? How does this impact his situation? Well, he, like many other young men, was taken in by Andrew Tate's messaging, which is certainly powerful. It's part of the traditional male fantasy after all. A man's man. The cars, the clothes, the money, the fighting, and the women. This took hold of Aiden, and he saw in Tate a man who not only was to be followed, but emulated as closely as possible. Aiden leveraged his connections and online clout to get in contact with Tate, which Tate of course facilitated, probably due to the size of Aiden's audience and then being the perfect demographic.
Facts. Because if you think about it, if Fresh and Fit were the original platform jump off for Andrew Tate, then Aiden Ross' platform is basically what got Andrew Tate that like stratosphere type of fame. All right? Because if you think that Fresh and Fit had a lock on these like teenagers, the 20-year-olds that are the ideal demographic for Tate's business, the Hustler University or the webcamming nonsense, okay? So what other platform, aside from Fresh and Fit, would have the biggest demographic of underage teens to 20-year-olds, right? Aiden, bruh. Aiden, this guy. So realistically, I would say at this time, Tate needed Aiden Ross more than Aiden Ross needed Tate, but I think Aiden Ross was either blindsided by the myth of Andrew Tate at that point in time, or something, or he was already cucking for Tate. I don't know, okay? But it just doesn't make any sense why someone like Aiden Ross, who is already that massive, even massive than Fresh and Fit, would even consider, like, I wouldn't even say consider interviewing a guy like Andrew Tate. I mean, it makes sense, but like the way he was begging, I mean, this guy's literally sniffing the chair Andrew Tate snits on, okay? You can't make this shit up, okay? So the fact that he was already sucking up to Tate, but this dude was high value, it just didn't make any sense, bro. It means that there was something in that Matrix messaging that got into Aiden's head. Just like it got into Sneako's head, just like it's getting to the heads of a lot of these dudes out here listening to this bullshit.
This online multi-level marketing program called Hustlers University. A program that costs $50 a month to join a Discord server where teachers will train you in how to make money online, all of which is information you can find online with a simple Google search. The most lucrative aspect of Hustlers.
Imagine knowing that you joined a program. You paid $3,500 to join a program that people already have out on YouTube for free. You see what I'm saying? So when y'all are talking about Andrew Tate's a hero, he hasn't done anything different than any of the gurus out here. Okay, realistically, he's just another one of them. The only thing is his marketing is completely different. But realistically, if y'all really want to learn and not get scammed by these hustlers, all right, just do the research. A lot of this shit they're proclaiming is Matrix, it's exclusive, and it'll help you get ahead of your fellow man. If you did a couple of Google searches or even use YouTube, okay, believe it or not, YouTube's a search engine for videos. You can find anything you want, even the same shit that these dudes are charging you for. So, like, don't look at me when we're sitting here telling you if you get scammed or hustled by these clowns, you deserve it. Because you're like, clearly you're bypassing all these other free resources out there.
University, aside from Tate's multiple millions of dollars earned each month for little to no work, was of course promoting Hustlers University to other prospective buyers and earning a kickback on any sales made, not actually paying attention to the course material, which is what the price of admission was originally for.
Facts!
An actual stroke of genius on Tate's behalf, as when he was banned from social media platforms, his messaging not only didn't diminish, despite having no personal presence, but actually grew drastically. They could ban him as a man or as a business, but now his business had expanded. His brand was tens of thousands of smaller creators posting clips of him on every corner of the internet and being financially incentivized to do so. The more
y'all realize his marketing strategy was so effective? This dude literally created a whole movement that was bigger than him. Like, he's locked up right now, and there's a worldwide cult literally like they're waiting for him to be released right now. That's what he did. Like, I don't know how he was able to use the red pill to garner so many men into, just get them into his version of the Matrix. I don't know how he was able to do that. But realistically, actually, you know what? Time out. Hold up. I think I know how. Okay, listen. If this guy can pretend to be a woman and convince another man out of his own life savings, okay, I think he's capable of convincing a bunch of young men to basically blindly follow his bullshit, okay? Even after it's proven that he's nothing but a pimp who's just out here hustling off of the very same men he's claiming to help. Like, y'all don't see that. Y'all realize this is how people who are in cults, this is how they get abused, okay? They don't even realize they're being abused right now. A lot of you Tate boys, all right, you guys don't even realize you're being abused. Like, my boy is out here abusing you, and you got Aiden Ross sniffing the very seat this nigga's sitting on. Like, you can't make this shit up, bruh. Like, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm just.
They got, the more Hustlers University referrals they could sell, which made them continue to do it. This made it so there was no real way to stop the spread of his message, the spread of Hustlers University, and the influence of Andrew Tate himself.
The Matrix is weak now. You have an opportunity now to make more money than you've ever had in your entire life. Hustlers University, that's exactly what we're doing. It doesn't matter if you have $1 or $30 million like me.
This is the only school online that's going to teach you exactly what to do to make sure you are not crushed along with the normies.
Did he say $13 million or $300 million, chat? I heard $13 million. I thought he was worth $300 million. Let me play that back.
Hustlers University, that's exactly what we're doing. It doesn't matter if you have $1 or $30 million like me. This
He
is
say
the only
13 or 30. Hold up. Hold up. Because I don't know if he's like, if this is for Freudian slip or something, but he's been out here saying and I know he's probably worth more money than that. But at the time, I know when this video came out, I know around that time when this video came out, and around that time this video came out, he was claiming 300 million. So I don't know if he's saying 13 million or 30 million.
$30 million like me. This is the only $1 or $30 million like
$30 million.
This is the
okay.
only.
Huh. He said 30. Okay. I got some questions. I got some questions, bro.
School online that's going to teach you exactly what to do to make sure you are not crushed along with the normies.
Eventually, within a few months of meeting online, Andrew Tate and Aiden Ross met in person. Aiden made content out of this, streaming with the top G himself to hundreds of thousands of viewers. They talked life, played chess, smoked cigars, ate at restaurants, and Aiden was exposed to the intoxicating lifestyle of Tate, who is undoubtedly a charismatic figure.
Are you the best Aiden you could possibly be?
Hell no.
Okay, so there you go. So you know what you need to do.
I know what I need to do.
But you're not going to do it because you don't really want to do it.
I will do when I'm ready to do it.
Bro, listen to this. You see how Tate is playing with this dude's mind right now? Are y'all hearing this? Yo, what the fuck? You see how my boy Tate is literally working this dude's mind right now? Y'all hear this back and forth?
Tate, who is undoubtedly a charismatic figure.
Are you the best Aiden you could possibly be?
Hell no.
Okay, so there you go. So you know what you need to do.
I know what I need to do.
But you're not going to do it because you don't
What
really
is it
want
that
to
you
do
got to
I
do,
will
bro?
do when I'm ready to do it.
It didn't take long after this for Aiden to start emulating Tate's behavior, his look, and of course his talking points.
Bro, look at that shit. Do y'all see that mental shit that Tate was doing? Bro, what the fuck gets down in Dubai? Matter of fact, we gotta revisit this war room, bro, because there's some nonsense going on right now that I do not understand. I'm not sure what's happening, but like just the way he was working on dude's mind, just in that little clip itself, that's very interesting, bro. But that also shows you that like Tate's a really manipulative guy. Just in that little 5-second clip with him and Aiden alone, just him just asking that question, bro. He's a very manipulative dude, bro. Like no cap.
Were there consequences to actions? There was only cancel culture for speaking truth. There weren't rules that were being broken.
He's literally
there was
bald
only
now.
the Matrix fighting back against him for trying to break out. They were after him for speaking the truth that the agents didn't want his audience to hear. Aiden's time on mainstream platforms that are policed purely by corporate need for acceptable monetization and advertiser guidelines was now running out. The more in Tate's footsteps he followed, the faster the sand in the hourglass would fall.
And you know what's crazy, right? These guys think that they're speaking truth. They think that if they're emulating what Tate does, say exactly the things he says about the Matrix and society, right? He actually thinks that when he's getting pushback for the things that he says, it's cancel culture, right? That's the brainwashing. Andrew Tate has worked on these dudes' minds so hard that even common criticism is looked at as cancel culture. You see how it started to drive this dude mad. So he didn't realize that, hey, you could be spreading potentially false information, especially when you guys talk about the vaccines and all these other illnesses that are going on out there, right? And on top of that, when you start pushing into more extreme content, like platforming dudes like Nick Fuentes, Sneako went wild. After he met Andrew Tate, bro, he spoke so much truth, he platformed Nick Fuentes and got himself labeled as a domestic terrorist. So what good is speaking the truth if all it's gonna do is just get y'all in a position where y'all aren't even allowed to speak? Like, just the slow descent into madness, bro. Yo.
Eventually, Twitch, and perhaps even YouTube, were going to notice how big of a brand risk he had become, and more importantly, how damaging to their advertising partners his messaging really was. At that point, he would undoubtedly be deplatformed. This is the fact
Gonzo.
and truth of moderation on websites like Twitch, which was his predominantly active platform. That is, until now. Enter kick.com.
The newest live streaming competitor that is in part guided by Trainwrecks TV and might be a little bit suspicious. It does seem, however, that the most used category on the website is slot streams. Specifically, the slot streams that are no longer allowed on Twitch of stake.com.
Kick is a streaming website that spawned almost entirely due to Twitch's decision to ban slots and gambling from their platform. Twitch made that decision for a few reasons, one of which being the incredible backlash from their community, the other being the brand risk it represents to potential advertisers, which is the same reason they do most things, of course.
Yeah, bro, them Nelk boys really took advantage of that. And shout out to CoffeeZilla for actually exposing what the Nelk boys were up to, because they were really heavy into all of that gambling streams, dude. Like, they literally, bruh, while Andrew Tate was over here getting dudes riled up about women and shit, okay, you had Aiden Ross and his crew on Twitch getting a lot of these young kids addicted to gambling, okay? So these dudes are just worse. Like, these influencers nowadays are just worse for society as a whole. And I just find it so hypocritical that these same guys have the audacity to come out here and preach about the Matrix. Meanwhile, they're funneling you guys into the very same system that's actively oppressing you. It just doesn't make any sense.
Another big factor being having websites like Stake, a platform that uses cryptocurrency to gamble and showing creators winning and losing millions of dollars each spin to an audience of mostly young adults and children, was a mainstream headline and political nightmare waiting to happen. The second mainstream press caught wind of Twitch allowing this on their mostly accessible to kids website, the scrutiny would be incredible. As a result of this ban, popular Twitch streamer and #1 poster boy for said gambling, Trainwrecks, decided he would be starting his own streaming website. For context, Train was paid millions of dollars monthly to promote Stake, and he's almost certainly dealing with a debilitating gambling addiction, making this ban not only an attack on...
Wait a minute, you mean the guy who is running the platform that Aiden Ross is streaming porn to through? It was the CEO of the gambling company that got banned from Twitch? Yo, like this, you can't make this shit up. Like, you wanna, and these guys, yo, you know, these guys have the balls to talk about society trying to manipulate you. Look at the sheer cabal that my boy Aiden Ross has surrounded himself around. Like, he's literally surrounded himself with the gambling cabal, right? So even the platform, he's now getting these extremist Twitch subscribers that used to be his Twitch subscribers over to Kick, right? It was owned by someone who just wants the platform there for them to gamble, so he can get them into gambling. Whoa. This is bad. This is bad. Like, it just gets worse. It gets worse from here, man.
His revenue, but his ability to constantly feed that addiction. This was the circumstances that spawned Kick, a website that fundamentally, from an economic perspective, makes no sense. Until, of course, you examine it is owned and operated by the CEO of Stake. Essentially, from what I can tell, it seems to serve as a funnel between the creators that they've paid millions, maybe even tens of millions of dollars in exclusivity contracts to bring their audience over to Kick, where they can be exposed to the gambling website.
Wow.
In my mind, with their lack of advertisers backing the website...
Hey, listen, I'm going to just say this right now. Any of y'all promoting this Kick stuff, just know that if you're streaming, and I'm talking about all you top content creators out there, just understand, because I know Aiden Ross made that announcement that he's going to start signing a bunch of y'all top dogs over to Twitch, and some of y'all big boys are already signed over. Y'all know who you are. Just know that your audience that are transferring over to this new platform, these are the guys that are running it, okay? So don't be surprised if you're responsible or partially responsible for a sliver of your audience becoming gambling addicts. Just saying, because that's what's being formed by this new age influencers right now. That's what's happening.
And then 95% to creator, 5% to website revenue split on subscriptions. It's the only possible way for the site to make financial sense. This isn't charity. After all, if you know anything about streaming, Twitch doesn't make a profit, and they take 50-50, have a lot of advertisers, and even subsidize the cost of their gargantuan server bills due to the fact they're owned by Amazon, who own Amazon Web Services. Mixer couldn't even make a profit, and they're Microsoft, who own Microsoft Azure, one of the most powerful networking solutions in the world. Now, how does this all relate to Aiden? Well, by the time Kick became available, his time on Twitch was basically up. Of his own making, of course. He started to tweet things that he previously would not have done. He started to say things he previously would not have said. And this only got worse, progressively. A short while before everything came tumbling down, Aiden made a video claiming that Twitch were trying to silence him, that for this reason, he would need to explore options.
And then once I was streaming and doing what I normally do is, you know, I say some real shit sometimes. I basically got a call. He basically said, hey man, if you keep doing controversial stuff and you keep saying certain things and you keep basically promoting certain things on your stream, we're gonna have to take you down indefinitely. So my team and I, we've been thinking of some workarounds. We've been thinking of like stuff that we can do to basically block this off and basically move past us. And we got some stuff in the works.
Which is when he went over to Kick to do some test streaming. The plan, which Trainwreck's already set in motion for himself, would be to stream 1 hour on Twitch, get his audience active and engaged, and then direct them over to Kick, where he'd finish the rest of the stream, hopefully transferring over the people who wanted to continue watching. Doing this for a few weeks or months would eventually mean that hopefully most of his audience would log on Kick to see him live, instead of just being on Twitch. Unfortunately, Aiden's idea that because he was on Kick he could do or say whatever he wanted and Twitch wouldn't care was completely incorrect. Aiden decided to purposefully open pornography on his stream, showing the main page of the explicit site to his young audience, letting it sit there, asking his fans what they wanted to watch. Kick warned him that he needed to stop, that this was against their rules, though of course they didn't ban him as they were currently courting him for a massive exclusivity deal for the platform.
$150 million, dog. Damn. Yo, yeah, I didn't know it was that huge. God damn, 100, yo, this kid at his age, he's like what, 23, 24? At his age was worth more than Andrew Tate himself. Y'all realize that, right? And yet here he is, about to throw his entire career, everything that he built. Holy shit, dude. How can you be so stupid? Oh my God. How can you? I have never seen anyone fumble the bag as much as this guy, dog. Wow.
Twitch, however, saw the issue of having this man associated with their website, likely knew he was only going to get worse from there, and cut ties. They issued Aiden with his 8th and this time permanent ban. Luckily for him, he did finalize the contract with Kick prior to this. Had they waited a couple more days, they probably could have saved the massive, which they're claiming, biggest streaming deal in history, and got him for free.
Hey, Kick, you're gonna have to hold this L, Kick. If y'all just waited a couple days, my boy would have just self-destructed. Y'all would have got him pennies on a dollar, dog. Wow, now y'all got an overpriced liability. Yeah, great business sense. I mean, what do you expect from a company ran by gamblers?
This man very almost ruined a massive multi-million-dollar deal because he wanted to open a porn website on his stream. As soon as Aiden was on Kick, things started to progress downhill fairly rapidly. He was watching Nazi propaganda videos featuring heavy anti-Semitism, incredibly racist videos.
Yeah, you know, y'all recognize that guy? I think that's Nick Fuentes, isn't it? Yeah. This is the final boss of the Red Pill conspiracy. Right here. Okay? Once you reach this guy, all right, once you reach the anti-Semitism and the Nazi sympathizing, you've gone too deep. You've gone too deep, okay? This is when you need to start pulling out, okay? Once you've reached this level of Red Pill, it's over. This is like the black hole, dog.
Trying to trick people into saying the N-word against their will, and doing what he admittedly says is tricking his audience for fun.
What did you say?
Okay, you're gonna pull the blanket off her, pour it all on her face. Listen, And then they're gonna be like, wake up, bitch. And they're gonna grab the bag and go, smack, smack, smack.
He then started making threatening tweets to Twitter gossip accounts like Jake Lucky, who had posted about some of his prior transgressions in recent days, and constantly talking about how many genders there really are, making this point in almost every tweet, as if totally obsessed with it despite it never being relevant to any of the conversations he was trying to participate in.
I'm telling you, man. These red pill guys are going crazy, okay? Because the genders, the reason why he's only talking about genders, because that's the only talking point that he knows, okay? That's the only talking point he's been told. Because, oh, look at the left, they're freaking out about genders. Oh, they're trying to control our speech. That's all they know. These guys don't actually think. Y'all gotta understand that. Like, you are looking at a rich dummy. Okay, that's what we're looking at right now. And sadly, a bunch of 11-year-olds are following this guy.
This, of course, goes almost 180 in the face of his previous behavior prior to meeting Andrew Tate. Aiden used to commit a sizable portion of his income to LGBT charities for multiple years, an act that promotes inclusivity and acceptance, but now seems to be working against it. It seems like Aiden is out of control, even out of the control of Trainwrecks and Kick, who told him explicitly that he cannot stream copyrighted content, which didn't stop him as he proceeded to stream the Super Bowl. Kick signed Aiden because of his reach to an audience they wanted to gather on the website, and that has paid off. He frequently sees close to 100,000 concurrent viewers on the incredibly small, by comparison to Twitch, website. But they've also signed someone who seems to be in a tailspin, who seems like a massive liability. Though if my theory about what they're doing to monetize the website is true, they're probably not going to care. For Aiden, it seems like he's intent on continuing down this path, and he's doing so with a mostly young, impressionable audience. It's not out of the realms of possibility in my mind that what Aiden refers to as the Matrix might start paying attention to some of the things he's doing and that Kick is allowing on their website. If they're not careful to rein him in and enforce their terms of service properly, it could be a problem. Though for now, it seems Kick is content to be the Wild West of the streaming world, as that is a big selling point compared to the admittedly ridiculous other end of the spectrum with Twitch's inconsistencies and corporate red tape.
And here's the problem. That is the problem with banning guys like this, okay? Because they go into these platforms and they just let loose. It's like cutting them loose, and they can do whatever, say whatever they want. And again, for those of you guys who are who are all about cancel culture, we're literally creating a monster. And like Cake is like literally the rising monster. And I'm sure with Aiden Ross recruiting a lot of these top streamers to get onto that platform, it's gonna only grow. And when their what do you call it, their revenue scheme hits, okay, then they're gonna just rival Twitch. I can see that because Twitch is on some bullshit. But I want y'all who are for cancel culture to understand where cancel culture leads to. When you deplatform these guys away from a platform where we can equally roast them and criticize their ideas, they run underground, and guess what? Their ideas fester. And do you think that they're grabbing and taking a lot of the rational thinking people with them? No, they're taking the more extreme people with them over to their platform. The dudes that don't give a fuck, they'll do whatever. They're down, full send. They don't care. Those are the people that are attracted to the underground. All right, that's why it's called the underground, bruh. Yo, we gotta be anti-cancel culture because we literally breeding demons out here. Hold up.
Mostly young, impressionable audience. It's not out of the realms of possibility in my mind that what Aiden refers to as the Matrix might start paying attention to some of the things he's doing and that Kick is allowing on their website. If they're not careful to rein him in and enforce their terms of service properly, it could be a problem. Though for now, it seems Kick is content to be the Wild West of the streaming world, as that is a big selling point compared to the admittedly ridiculous other end of the spectrum with Twitch's inconsistencies and corporate red tape. And Aiden is not the first person this has happened to. There are multiple big creators that have gone down this same path, all to follow Andrew Tate, many of which have been literally disowned by their family, including Sneako. For Aiden Ross, a person claiming to be his half-brother came on Twitter to talk about how after Aiden met Andrew Tate, his whole personality changed, how he was previously incredibly close with his family, but essentially strained their relationship to the point of ruin. Aiden, of course, claims that this is not his brother. Whether or not it's true can't be confirmed. What can be confirmed is that the Aiden Ross who grew to be one of the biggest live broadcasters on the planet is a very different Aiden Ross than exists today. He has traded a slightly controversial and potential brand risk personality with a bright future for a roll of the dice that Kick remains open and popular. He's literally put all his eggs in Kick's basket, and his reputation on the line for a man currently in jail for sex trafficking.
And that's what it's all for. That's what it's all for, chat. At the end of the day, they're throwing their careers away for this guy. For this guy. Can you believe it? Like, I don't get this. Sneako was the first one to fall. And Sneako, everybody saw that shit coming. Aiden Ross, a lot of you guys, all because of him. You're losing your minds. And think about it. Aiden Ross is like literally, if he would have kept his shit straight, my boy was on a pathway to, he could literally be on a pathway of being a billionaire right now. And I'm not saying he's not on that way yet. But if he's still going in and being as radical as he is, and that's only gonna fester with these underground platforms they're at, because that's all that's gonna happen. You're gonna attract the most extreme out of the most extreme, and that's what's gonna happen. Those guys are gonna be the one populating your platform. So I don't think with the extreme chat reinforcing these bad behaviors, it's only gonna get him to do worse shit. Like, you guys got to understand that. Guys like him, guys like Sneako, all that stuff. The only way this would stop is if Kick gets big enough, fast enough, that they can start putting in some of those policies in place. Like, hey, listen, this goes against terms and conditions, and you can get us sued, right? Like streaming the Super Bowl, all right? That's something that they can come after our platform for. Right? So it's just stupid, reckless bullshit that you see him doing right now that's only going to be more emboldened by his audience on that platform. And chat, get this. Remember we talked about earlier that this might all be some kind of plot, right? And Tate might be in on it. Let's just say Tate goes to jail, right? Or maybe doesn't go to jail for that long, or maybe gets a heavy fine. Maybe that's the outcome of all of this, right? Well, guess what platform he's going to go on to? Guess what platform that's going to welcome the most controversial figure to ever walk the face of the modern day, okay? What do you think they're going to do? Oh, you think 150 million or 70 million that my boy Aiden got was it? Imagine the bag they're going to give this dude. Andrew Tate. Imagine the bag this dude is gonna get the moment he gets out of jail and Kick is looking for the next new leader. And now let's look beyond that and think about the messaging that this guy's gonna continue to put out there. All right. Now he just has a platform onto himself. It's like giving the worst possible individual a massive megaphone that can literally work the minds of young men around the world. Just like that. Like, the more I look at, listen, okay, so I did some research, okay? And by research, I mean a quick Wikipedia, all right? And what I'm looking at here, the only proof I saw, because some of y'all saying his dad was in the CIA, the only thing I see on Wikipedia is that he was a linguistic specialist as in the Air Force. So unless he got recruited out of the Air Force into the CIA, there's really nothing else I can see, at least trustworthy-wise, that says that his dad was in the CIA. All right, there's a Reddit post right here, right? But I don't know. But if it is true that Tate's daddy was in the CIA, then I don't know, man. Maybe all of what we're seeing right now, maybe there might be something to it. I don't know. Maybe we need to look a little deeper. Maybe we just might need to jump a little further into that good old red pill rabbit hole, okay? And listen, I know. Listen, you see a lot of these guys, once they reach the black hole, which is the what do you call it? The Nick Fuentes of the world, right? Yeah, that's what we know, okay? So listen, it's not just them. You got girls like Pearl, if you keep platforming this Nick Fuentes dude, I won't be surprised if your platform gets taken down. okay? First of all, you're not verified and you got 1 million subs. That's already sus, okay? Your mentor and daddy, Roll Tomasi, is accusing you of paying for subs. Pearl, I'm just saying, girl, your pedigree right now in the manosphere space is looking a little rocky, my girl. So the last thing you want to be doing is just platforming a known domestic terrorist like Nick Fuentes, okay? And then holding this guy up as a guy, a paragon of someone we should be having debates or logical conversations with. The same person who believes that black people on average are dumber because genetics. That's that guy that they're platforming. So let's just let's just put all of that stuff together here, because if y'all are really thinking about it, these people who are platforming these extremists around us, and now all these guys are joining these different platforms, y'all need to get the fuck out of here. Like, something needs to happen. Like, this is why I know y'all don't like Destiny, okay? I get it. I understand, okay? Because there's certain parts when he argues, and it's like, hey, it looks like you're forcing down the point, or it looks like you're not really all that versed in that. I'm not saying that he doesn't know what he's talking about, but there's certain points that he makes where he doesn't fully know, and then when he gets the pushback, then he does the research. But you got to credit him. He does the research right then and there, or at least tries to, right? So I know y'all don't like Destiny, but realistically, unless we get another major person that's willing, and not Hassan or any of those other guys, okay? Hassan, he's kind of a tool. Although, he's got his platform, he's got his, you got to give him his flowers. He's not the right guy to be having these conversations with, okay? Hassan comes off too condescending. Okay, he might be a little too condescending for this conversation. But Destiny, honestly, is the perfect one to carry us on, because he's been the only other one who has been able to not only elicit these conversations from a lot of these red pill leaders, because think about it, a lot of these manosphere content creators, they don't want to debate nobody, okay? They don't want to debate nobody, okay? They are scared to leave the confines of their own echo chambers, okay? So the fact that someone like Destiny is willing to breach that and have these conversations, and for some of these guys like, hold up, where my picture at? All right? Some of these guys that he ran through, okay? I think that it really at least not only brought a lot of attention to the space, but it also, I feel like it brought a lot of more rational people, at least people who don't think on two extremes. People who are able to see that, maybe this world isn't as black and white, all right? Maybe we can't just look to one singular thing and point to it and say that that's the cause of all of our problems. Maybe we have to do a little bit more work, put a little bit more effort to understand what's going on, what's really going on around our lives, okay? Not just blaming this invisible matrix entity and feminism for shit that don't work out the way it's supposed to work out, all right? So, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. It's not going to be a major stream today because it's one of our midweek light stream, but y'all want to stay tuned for Friday's stream. Oh, yeah, because we going to be talking about you, baby girl Pearl. We going to be talking about you, okay? Because realistically, I don't know who artificially placed you as the head of this space, but realistically, you need to go revisit some of the talking points that you putting out there. Because guys, after Friday's episode, I am thoroughly convinced this woman does not know what she's talking about. And I think she is further adding to the problem that's hurt a lot of these young men, which is pushing for a system, all right, an archaic system that's been oppressing men for a very long time. And we got to cover that. So guys, I appreciate you being here. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with us, and I appreciate that. Appreciate the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.